O-Level Chemistry, Paper Code 5070, Paper 1, Variant 1, May June 15. Today we will solve question number 11 to question number 20. Question number 11. What is the relative molecular mass of copper sulfate with 5 molecules of water? To find out relative molecular mass, just we have to sum up relative atomic mass of all the atoms present in this molecule. Now atomic mass of copper is 64. For sulfur it is 32. For oxygen it is 16. Here we have 4 oxygen, so it will become 16 multiplied by 4. Molecular mass of one molecule of water is 18. Here we have 5 molecules, so it will become 5 multiplied by 18. Now just by solving this one, we will get the answer 250. So molecular mass of this compound is 250 and 250 is given in option D. So correct option D. Question number 12. 1 decimeter cube of ammonia gas is passed over heated copper oxide. What is the volume of nitrogen formed when measured at the same temperature and pressure as the ammonia? To find out the volume of nitrogen, we will take help of molar volume. What is molar volume? According to molar volume, 1 mole of any gas at room temperature and pressure occupies 24 decimeter cube. Now here in this balance equation, we have 2 moles of ammonia and 1 mole of nitrogen. So here we can say the volume of ammonia will be 2 multiplied by 24, it will be 48 decimeter cube. And here volume of nitrogen will be 24 decimeter cube. So from the balance equation, from 48 decimeter cube of ammonia, we get 24 decimeter cube of nitrogen. Now here we have 1 decimeter cube of ammonia. So from 1 decimeter cube of ammonia, we will get 1 multiplied by 24 over 48. It will be 0.5 decimeter cube of nitrogen. So from 1 decimeter cube of ammonia, we will get 0.5 decimeter cube of nitrogen. 0.5 decimeter cube is given in option B. So correct option B. Next question. Question number 13. What are the correct anode, positive electrode and cathode, negative electrode products when aqueous copper sulfate is electrolyzed using copper electrodes? Aqueous copper sulfate means here we have water and copper sulfate. From water we will get hydrogen and hydroxide ion, and from copper sulfate we will get copper and sulfate ion. So in this solution we will have hydrogen ion, hydroxide ion, copper ion and sulfate ion. Now here we have to find out anode product and we have to find out cathode product. And in this electrolysis, we are using copper electrodes as anode and as cathode. Now we check this one. Here we have aqueous copper sulfate solution, and in the solution we have 2 electrodes. This electrode is connected to positive terminal, so this one is anode, and this is connected to negative terminal, so this one is a cathode. And both anode and cathode are made up of copper. Now what reaction will take place at the anode? At the positive electrode, copper will lose 2 electrons and it will be converted to copper ion, and this copper ion will be transferred to solution. Now in the solution we have copper ion. This copper ion is positively charged and it will migrate towards the cathode, and at the cathode it will gain 2 electrons and it will be converted to copper metal. So in the overall reaction, what will happen? At the anode we will have copper ion and at the cathode we will have pure copper. Now we check the options. Here at the anode, product is given aqueous copper ion in A and B. So possible options are A and B. And at the cathode we get pure copper metal, that is given in option A. So here correct option A. Question number 14. Concentrated aqueous sodium chloride is electrolyzed using inert electrode. Which statement about the electrolysis is correct? Here we have concentrated aqueous sodium chloride. Aqueous sodium chloride means here we have sodium ion, chloride ion, hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. Now we check the options. Which statement about this electrolysis is correct? Option A. Chloride ions travel through the solution to the negative electrode. Chloride ions are negatively charged, so chloride ion will migrate towards the positively charged electrode, not towards the negatively charged electrode. So option A is incorrect. Option B. Electrons travel through the solution to the sodium ion. In the solution, we don't have electrons, we have positive and negative ions. So option B is also incorrect. Option C. Gases are given off at both electrodes. At this positively charged electrode, what reaction will take place? Toward the positively charged electrode, chloride ion will migrate, and at this electrode, chloride ion will lose an electron and it will be converted to chlorine gas. So at the positive electrode, we will get chlorine gas. At the negatively charged electrode, hydrogen ion will migrate, and at the negatively charged electrode, this hydrogen ion will gain electron and it will be converted to hydrogen gas. So at positive electrode, we will get chlorine gas. At negatively charged electrode, we will get hydrogen gas. So at both the electrodes, we will get gas. So this option is correct where it is given gases are given off at both the electrodes. What is given in option D? In option D, it is given sodium is formed at the negative electrode. Sodium will not migrate towards the negatively charged electrode. Hydrogen will migrate because hydrogen is less reactive than sodium. So sodium will not migrate, sodium will remain in the solution. Hydrogen ion will migrate and at the negative electrode we will get hydrogen gas. So option D is also incorrect. So correct option, option C. Question number 15. The diagram shows the energy profile of a chemical reaction. Two energy changes are labeled X and Y. Which statement about the reaction is correct? Option A. The activation energy of the reaction is X plus Y. Activation energy means the energy from the reactants to the peak. From the reactant to the peak, the energy is given as X. So option A is incorrect. Activation energy is X, not X plus Y. Option B, the enthalpy change of the reaction is X. Enthalpy change means the energy change in between the reactant and the product. The enthalpy change, the energy change in between the reactant and product is given here as Y. It is not X. And in option B, it is given as X. So this option is also incorrect. Option C, the enthalpy change of the reaction is X plus Y. It is incorrect. Enthalpy change is represented here by alphabet Y. So option C is also incorrect. Option D, the reaction is exothermic. Yes, it is correct. Here we are looking in the reactant energy is more, whereas in the product energy is less. Means during this reaction energy is released, and the reaction during which energy is released is called exothermic reaction. So this reaction is a exothermic reaction that is given in option D. So correct option, option D. Question number 16. In the graph, curve 1 was obtained by observing the decomposition of 100 centimeter cube of 1 mole per decimeter cube hydrogen peroxide solution catalyzed by manganese oxide. Which alteration to the original experiment conditions would produce curve 2? Curve 2 shows that the volume of oxygen formed is more as compared to volume of oxygen formed in 1. Now we check the options. Option A, adding some 0.1 mole per decimeter cube hydrogen peroxide solution. Yes, this option may be correct because here it is given we are increasing reactant, and with the increase in reactant we will get more product, so definitely we will get more oxygen gas, we will get more volume of oxygen. So this option is correct, but you will check other option first. Option B, lowering the temperature. Lowering the temperature or increasing the temperature affect where we have a reversible reaction. It is not a reversible reaction, it is irreversible reaction. So this option is also incorrect. Option C, using less manganese oxide. Option D, using a different catalyst. Catalyst just decrease the activation energy. Because of catalyst, amount of product does not change. So by changing a catalyst or by using less manganese oxide, there will be no effect on volume of the product, on volume of oxygen gas formed. So C and D are also incorrect. Correct option, option A. By adding hydrogen peroxide, we will get more oxygen gas. So correct option is option A. Question number 17. The equation shows a redox reaction between iron chloride and chlorine gas. Which equation describes the reduction process in this reaction? Redox means reduction and oxidation. Now here in this equation, in ferrous chloride, what is oxidation state of chlorine? It is -1. And here we have 2 chlorine. So here total charge on chlorine will be -2. So oxidation state of iron in FeCl2 will be +2. Here in Cl2 oxidation state of chlorine is 0. Now after the reaction we have ferric chloride. Here oxidation state of chlorine is -1 and total chlorine are 3. So definitely on this iron the oxidation state the charge will be +3. Now here we are looking that oxidation state of iron is changing from +2 to +3. +2 to +3 means it is losing one electron, and loss of electron is called oxidation. Whereas in chlorine, oxidation state is changing from 0 to -1. Means here this chlorine gained one electron, and gain of electron is called reduction. So here we can say this chlorine gains electron and it is converted to chloride ion. And same thing is shown in option B, that chlorine gains 2 electron and it is converted to chloride ion. So here our correct option is option B. Question number 18. Which row correctly describes the oxide? First oxide is given aluminum oxide. Aluminum oxide is amphoteric. Amphoteric means it has property of both acidic and basic oxides. Now amphoteric is given in C and D, so possible options are C and D. Second oxide, it is given potassium oxide. Potassium is a metal. Metallic oxide is basic oxide. Now here it is magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide, again magnesium is a metal, so it will be basic oxide. Now basic oxide is given in option D, so our correct option, option D. Okay, we will also check about sulfur dioxide, about the last oxide. Sulfur is non-metal and non-metallic oxide are acidic in nature, and acidic is given in option D. So correct option, option D. Aluminum oxide is amphoteric, potassium oxide is basic, magnesium oxide is basic, and sulfur dioxide is acidic in nature. So correct option, option D. Question number 19. Which substance is insoluble in water? Option A, ammonium carbonate. Option B, ammonium nitrate. All ammonium salts are soluble in water, so A and B are not the possible option. C, calcium carbonate. Yes, it may be correct. In option D, it is given calcium nitrates. All the nitrates are soluble in water, so definitely option D is not the possible option. The correct option is option C, calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is insoluble in water. Question number 20. In Which of these equilibria is the forward reaction favored by the increase in pressure? With the increase in pressure, the reaction will proceed in the direction where the volume is decreasing. Now we check the options. Option A, here we have 2 moles of hydrogen iodide, and after the reaction we have 1 mole of hydrogen and 1 mole of iodine, means here total 1 plus 1 2 moles. So before the reaction 2 moles, after the reaction 2 moles. So volume before and after will be same. So here with the increase in pressure there will be no effect because here volume on both the side is same. Option B, here we have 1 mole of N2O4 and after the reaction we have 2 moles of NO2. So here volume is increasing. So here if we increase the pressure, the reaction will proceed in the reverse direction, in the backward direction. It will not proceed in the forward direction. So option B is also incorrect. Option C, 2 moles of NO plus 1 mole of oxygen and after the reaction 2 moles of NO2. So before the reaction we have total moles 2 plus 1 3 and after the reaction 2. So here number of moles on the reactant side is more and on the product side it is less. So here we can say volume on the product side is less as compared to volume on the reactant side. So in this reaction, if we increase the pressure, the reaction will proceed in the forward direction. So here our correct option will be option C. Okay, we also check option D. In option D, it is given PCl5. We have 1 mole of PCl5 and after the reaction, 1 mole of PCl3 and 1 mole of chlorine. Means here after the reaction, we have total 2 moles. So before the reaction 1 mole, after the reaction 2 moles. So here we can say volume is increasing. So again if we increase the pressure, reaction will proceed in the backward direction, not in the forward direction. So option D is also incorrect. Correct option, option C. Okay, now we have completed up to question number 20. The remaining part we will solve in the next session. Thank you very much.